How about I switch to Sudachi or something? So, that's it. Switch to Nintendo One. Despite the high prices and anti-consumer practices, it'll still do gangbusters. Nintendo can do all the anti-consumer stuff they want and basically suffer nothing. Oh, don't worry, this isn't my Nintendo wake-up call. I had that a long time ago. I have my own grievances with the Switch 2. The game upgrades from Nintendo not being free is still scummy. Even on a base level, paying $450 for some of these games to be running, quite frankly, the way they should have been, irks me. And yes, I know the Switch is a potato, but tell me why you need to shell out $450 plus an extra $10 for the upgrade just so Pokemon doesn't run like piss but still looks like piss. Yeah, it sucks that people are shelling out $450 for the console when it is not worth that much for the hardware we're getting, honestly. Remember, the PS5 is $500. We've all had discussions on the game prices. $70 being the standard for the ninth gen. I'm gonna be honest, I was not into that. I don't know how we just accepted that. But Mario Kart World being $80, them trying to pull that same stunt they did with Tears of the Kingdom, well, I've already said my piece on that. Mario Kart World is $80! $80 fucking dollars for Mario Kart? Man, fuck that! For $80, Birdo better come out of the game and suck me off and Switch 2 on launch? Hell no! For $80 goddamn dollars, Bowser himself better come out of the game and fuck. Well, I just forgot to release that video, but point still stands. Nintendo can do literally anything and they'll make a ton of money. When they're perceived to have no real competition, people will happily eat it up. Even though they do in some areas, like retro game offerings, for example. And I get it, not everyone can emulate or has a PC, of course. There are phones nowadays that can emulate tons of games, and emulation is more simple to set up than ever, and NSO's retro library pales in comparison even all these years later, but, you know. Remember Mario 3D All-Stars? The collection that was a worse experience than emulating all the games included? The collection that excluded Galaxy 2? The collection that was artificially limited to induce FOMO? 10 million copies sold. And people just say, oh, but Nintendo makes good games, so they're better. Yeah, good games doesn't mean they're good, and, have you seen some of the stuff? Wii U era, for one. And there have been some very, very, very glaring mistakes in a lot of their recent games. But it also irks me to see people who do know better, and do know better options, happily bend over and take the Nintendo ass fucking. Like, what? And I know, yada yada Goomba image, the people saying to boycott aren't usually, because I've seen some fucking flicks, the ones buying the console, but still, people are going all, drop the price, and then the pre-orders sold out, fucking sheeple. Oh, but you're still gonna buy it? No, I'm not. It's called having fucking dignity, Janice. I'm sticking with my old Switch. And by the way, you guys can forget about any kind of exploit for pirating games on the Switch 2 and modding it. That console security is airtight. Without a mod chip, you're not getting shit. Heck, the original Switch was secure as hell. The only reason there's even a software mod for the old models is because of a hardware fuck up on Nvidia's end. I don't think the Switch 2 will do as well as the original, but that's kind of a given. It's a more expensive console and is pretty similar to the original Switch, which a lot of people have. Heck, I kinda see it not doing so well in the family market even considering the price. But you know, I still think it'll do really well. And that just blows. Nintendo's not gonna learn any lessons like people are saying that they need to. But to all my fellow holdouts, this isn't over. Stick to your guns and avoid the console until you can get it at a cheap price. Or better yet, not at all unless they rectify a few things, especially on the game end. And plus, Nintendo doesn't have to get your money. Anyway, that's my piece. Watch Kailu.
Pourquoi tout appartiendrait à tout le monde? On a vu où ça mène le communisme.